Humans. Why is it always humans? Okay, hold on, initializing. Taking the ducks to the pond. Now,
prepare yourselves. Zekk Walker is online now. I will find you, human. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, I'm Zekk Walker. This is Zekk's Variety Show. Hey, how's it going today, everybody? Double check this, try and get this back to where I need it to be. All right. All right, guys. We're gonna do some Microsoft Flight Sim today, so let's go ahead. I don't know why it's saying Rocket League Shakedown, but that's fine. We'll jump over. And then let's go ahead and turn our actual Flight Sim on. All right, let's go ahead and set up our trip for today. We're going to be flying Cessna Citation Longitude, and we're going to be leaving from Seattle. Says where we landed last time. We're going to be in gate parking. Let's go gate C9. That's where we're going to take off from. Then we're going to go to should we go to Portland again, or should we go somewhere else? We should go to... Yeah, we can go Portland. Portland. Then, right? Let's go ahead and switch this from VOR to Altitude Airways. C9 departure, C18. Helen's arrival, approach, automatic. Do that. We do that one. There's Mountain 216 center. Low altitude. Check our flight conditions. Live. All players. Air traffic. Off. Because we just want to have players. So we're going to go back to world map. I think this is good. Let's go ahead and just load on into our plane. Be an interesting sort of day. Cool. All right. So we are ready to fly. Cool. We are at gate C9. Let's go ahead and turn on our ground power. Let's set our map. Comms. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on standby power. Turn off standby power. Test it. It's fine. Left gen. We know these gens off for now. Okay. Generator switches off. let's go ahead and put in our let people know we're here. We're going to turn on our dog and pulse. Turn our floods on. Gonna turn on our emergency lights and arm them. Wing inspection, anti-collision, tail flood, and we're gonna get the passengers seated. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn on flight director to get us started. Let's check our preferences in the flight plan. We're gonna hit our takeoff data. Our origin, 16C, I think. Let's turn on the ATIS and find out.
Seattle Airport information, India 1700 Zulu. Wind 135 at 4. Visibility, 10. Sky condition, 6,000 feet scattered ceiling, 13,100 feet broken. Temperature, 7. Dew point, 10. Altimeter 29.80. ILS runway 16 center, ILS runway 16 left and ILS runway 16 right in use. Landing and departing runway 16 center, runway 16 left and runway 16 right. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have India.
Okay, so we have India. We are going to check our weather, load our MTAR, and use the RAT. Our runway is set. We're going to use that for now. Takeoff configuration, we're going to go flaps 2. Good. Home. Let's do our fuel and weight. All right. Let's take all the fuel out of the equation for now. We're gonna run we've got a heavy passenger plane today. Got 7 passengers. You know what? I think we have a full plane today. Let me double check that. Yeah, I think we have a full plane, all 8 passengers. Let's go ahead and gallon. Got a little problem here. Baggage 1, baggage 2. So 8 passengers. We're gonna say that there are. I'm gonna see if I need my phone. I need my phone. Hold on. We're gonna do all 8 passengers. It's gonna be 200 baggage total. It's 50 pounds per bag. No cargo on this flight. Oh no, 200. Sorry, 200 pounds per bay. No cargo on this flight. So we're at full load there. Cool. So let's go ahead and do our weight and fuel data. Our operating weight. Basic operating weight 23,389. 23,389, that's where we are at empty weight. Cool. Let's do our payload first. We've got 8 passengers at 170 each. Cargo 400 pounds. 25489 is our current zero fuel weight. Perfect. That matches. So Let's go ahead and add some fuel on board. Sync Bob. So we're gonna put about all right, we're gonna roll with that. It's close enough. We're gonna put fuel on board. We're gonna put, I think it was 500 gallons per tank. So about 46% fuel. So we're gonna go 1,000 gallons, and we're gonna take that from the fob. There we go. We've got ourselves set up. Then we're gonna do our back to our operating rate. I think we're good there. Home. So we got our weight in. Now we're gonna go back to our takeoff data. Origin, ready, 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 and then we're gonna accept our takeoff speeds. And then we're gonna go home, and then we're gonna hit our landing data. We're gonna PPDX, runway 10 right, weather, low MTAR, runway 10 right, landing config, full config, landing data, accept landing speeds for now. Okay, so we've got our flight set up. We've got our procedures open. We're gonna just load that for now. Cool. Heading intercept to peak. Okay. Altitude 3,000 feet. Okay, I think we're good there. Climb. Cruise. Descent. So VNav is set. We could do that if we wanted to. So I think we're good here. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna have this to FMS, and this one to Nav1. Our speed bugs for takeoff and landing are all on. Minimum 500. Good. Then we're gonna roll back around here. We're gonna turn our batteries on. Generators reset and on. Good. Then we're gonna turn the ground power off. We're gonna roll over. We don't need anti-icing. We're gonna turn our APU to start. We're gonna watch our APU spool up. We're gonna turn our FMS to manual, and then we're gonna set our flight speed to 220 for climb. We're gonna turn our heading bug on. (254). Lock our heading in. That's okay. Alright, I think we're good. Turn the heading bug back off for a moment here. Cool. So let's go ahead and request IFR.
Seattle clearance delivery orbit 2515 ready to copy IFR clearance to Portland. Orbit 2515 is cleared to Portland Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 center climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 128.5 squawk 4425.
Wow, they're sending us straight to 10,000, huh?
Orbit 2515 cleared to Portland Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 center climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 128.5 squawk 4425. Orbit 2515 readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi. Good day.
All right. And shift push. Parking brake off. Ooh, that was a little laggy. Okay though. Yeah. We're taking our push back. The guy, DJ Jammin', sitting right there. Okay, so we want nose left. No, we want nose right. Sorry. No, do we want nose right? I think we want nose left. We'll try it here.
Seattle ground orbit 2515 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left. Orbit 2515,
Yes,
your request
there we
has
go.
been transmitted to the operator.
Nose left. Perfect.
Seattle ground orbit 2515 requesting the end of pushback. Orbit 2515 request to end pushback received.
Yeah. Okay, so we're good. We're gonna jump back over here. And then we're gonna request our taxi.
Seattle ground orbit 2515 with India ready to taxi IFR. Orbit 2515 taxi to and hold short of runway 16 center using taxiway Alpha Charlie cross runway 16 left Charlie. Contact tower on 119.9 when ready. Taxi to and hold short runway 16 center via taxiway Alpha Charlie cross runway 16 left Charlie orbit 2515.
Alright, so now we're gonna start up our engines. Gonna watch our engines spool up. Right engine on. Left engine on. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and turn off the APU. Save on fuel. Let's go ahead and begin our taxi. so we're taxiing out to runway 16 center. We're in a fully configured vessel. So here we go. Oh yeah, we're going the back way. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a terrain problem on this back runway. You can see that the road's a little messed up here. A little bit of a bump there. So we're gonna just miss the bump on purpose because I don't want to hit that bump. There it is. Yep. Alright, so we missed the bump, and now we're gonna go continue down the line. It's just a rough spot here in Seattle, is that little back seam where the airport meets the actual scenery over there. They missed that. It's not a major taxiway. A lot of the big ships aren't going to go that way, but our plane is much smaller, so we use this back taxiway quite a bit. Alright, so we're gonna roll out down to 16 center. Oh, the lag. Real. Yeah. Alright. Taxiing down. We're gonna hold this. So let's go ahead and just check it and see if there's anybody else around. There's a couple. Alright, we're rolling up. Heading to 16 center. Once we get here, we're going to do our final switches. Okay, they didn't give me a hold short runway clearance here. We're going to use visuals and assume that they have us clear because there's no traffic coming through. And then we're going to hold short of 16 center. We're going to hold short right here and do just a couple of final checks. We're going to turn on nav and we'll lock our heading when we get on the runway. We're going to turn on our landing lights and our taxi lights, turn off our inspections. We are ready to go. Alright, let's call tower and get our clearance.
Seattle Tower, orbit 2515 ready for departure runway 16 center IFR to Portland. Orbit 2515 altimeter 29.80, wind 135 at 4. Cleared for takeoff runway 16 center. Cleared for takeoff runway 16 center, orbit 2515.
Okay. So we're gonna move ourselves out onto the runway. Alright, we're gonna mark our heading. 165 heading marked. Ready to go. Toga toga. Rolling. V1, V2, rotate. We have positive rate, gear up.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 128.5.
Laps in.
Good day.
128.5, orbit 2515.
128.5, orbit 2515. Goodbye.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 with you at 1,900 feet for 10,000.
1,800 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Orbit 2515, Seattle Center, altimeter 29.80, radar contact, continue to peak.
Throttle on. And we're climbing to 10,000. Double checking the barrows, 2980. Climb, climb. Flaps in. Navigation on. Heading off. Navigation on. Navigation on, making our turn.
Orbit 2515, climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Flying direct Decatur now.
Seattle Center orbit 2515 requests destination change to Portland.
Orbit 2515 is cleared to Portland Airport as filed. Squawk 4425.
Okay, we changed our flight plan.
Orbit 2515 cleared to Portland Airport as filed. Squawk 4425.
Orbit 2515 readback correct. Radar contact 13,000 feet. Altimeter 29.81 continue to Buzzo turning and following heading 170 proceed on course climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
16,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Continue to Buzzo turning and following heading 170 proceed on course climb and maintain 16,000 feet orbit 2515.
Okay. Okay.
Orbit 2515 contact Seattle Center on 134.905. Good day.
Going to 134.905 orbit 2515. Seattle Center orbit 2515 16,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 Seattle Center altimeter 29.78 radar contact continue to Buzzo.
All right. Above 10,000, we're going to turn our autopilot to 320. turning ourselves up to cruise speed.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 126.6. Good day.
126.6 for orbit 2515.
126.6 orbit 2515. Goodbye.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 with you at 16,000 feet.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, 16,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 Seattle Center, altimeter 29.79er, radar contact, continue to Helms.
Alright, we've got this. Heading 179. We're gonna match our heading to the
Orbit
course.
2515, contact Seattle Center on 124.2. Good day.
124.2 for orbit 2515.
124.2 orbit 2515. Goodbye.
Seattle Center. Seattle Center, orbit 2515 with you at 16,000 feet.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, 16,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 Seattle Center, altimeter 29.81, radar contact, continue to Helms.
Alright. There we go. Looks like we've got good speed today, so we're gonna head up to just on the edge at 320. Let's see who's around us. Spirit up there at 36,000 feet. Not bad at all. Lots of clouds today. Plenty of fuel to get where we're going. Working our way through. Our approach speed's gonna be 132. Technically we're gonna do 185 first to pick up the ILS, and then we'll go to 132. Looks pretty fun. Looks pretty good out there. All right, we're working our way across. We're gonna make sure that everybody stays seated for this whole flight because we got some weather. Let them know that we're about ready to go on our descent. And keep all our lovely lights on for now. Technically we're still above 10,000, so we don't want these on, we want these on. Okay, so looking fairly good. I'm zooming in. Should start getting our descent orders pretty soon. Because it's going to start coming on fast, I'm going to switch over to the under 10,000 lights.
Your security status has been lowered.
Hello, Hagland. Barrel roll. Do a loop. We're coming in.
Orbit 2515, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Orbit 2515.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet, orbit 2515.
We're gonna bring ourselves down to 240 for this descent. We'll do 235. Wrong kind of flying. Yes, it is actually. So we're gonna hit the air brake to get this descent rolling. We want to get down to 235.
Portland approach on 124.35. Good day.
124.35 for orbit 2515.
Going to 124.35 orbit 2515.
Okay. Portland approach, orbit 2515 with you at 14,000 feet for 6,000 feet.
Portland approach orbit 2515 is at 14,100 feet, descending 6,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 Portland approach altimeter 29.84 radar contact, continue to Hicker. Orbit 2515 contact Seattle Center on 124.2. Good day.
124.2 for orbit 2515.
124.2 orbit 2515.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 with you at 13,000 feet for 6,000 feet.
Seattle Center orbit 2515 is at 13,300 feet, descending 6,000 feet. Orbit 2515 Seattle Center altimeter 29.84 radar contact, continue to Voodoo.
Alright, so we're continuing to Voodoo. How you doing, Haglin? It's good to see you. We're under 250, we're going to put out one set of flaps.
Orbit 2515 contact Portland approach on 124.35. Good day.
124.35 for orbit 2515.
124.35 orbit 2515. Goodbye.
Portland approach, orbit 2515 with you at 1,000 or at 11,000 feet.
Portland approach orbit 2515 is passing 11,400 feet, descending 6,000 feet.
Orbit
I'm working on
2515
it.
Portland approach altimeter 29.83 radar contact, continue to Voodoo.
Alright, we're continuing to Voodoo. We're getting ourselves there. Alright, so for an ILS on this plane, we have to be under 200 and above 180. So, or something like that. So we're gonna go at 185, I think. Been a while since you played this. Have they improved it? Kind of. It's a lot more, it's closer to what real life is, but they don't tell you that. So it took me like a week to figure out how to get the ILS to lock on this plane. And it's because you have to be within a speed range. So instead of doing all the, all the setup was done for me. So like in the FMS now, you have these prefers. So you put in your takeoff data, your origin, your weather, your runway, your takeoff config, your, you put in your beginning fuel and weight statistics. And then you put in your expected landing data for destination, runway, weather, landing configuration, and then it gives you all your landing speeds and sends them straight to your FMS. So as long as you do all the calculations right, that does all that now. And then from that runway, it automatically puts you on localizer when you get in range, but you have to be within a certain speed, which it doesn't tell you. And that's under 200 and above like 160. And it took me like a week to figure out that I needed to be flying my ILS approach under 200 but above I think 160. But I found that 185 is about the perfect speed to lock onto the ILS in this plane. As you can see, the autopilot isn't jerking me around up and down anymore. That's pretty nice. Looks like we hit some wind shear there. Next course, 279. Looks like we're heading towards 279. There we go. But yeah, it feels a lot better. You still have to kind of manually get the autopilot to engage sometimes. Like the tracks it chooses aren't the best tracks for you sometimes. But if you know your airport, you can set up your departure and your approaches better than what it tells you to. Like, see, it's got me going vectors to Manso, and then I have to go vectors out to Scapo. So there's no course, it's just vectors. Once I hit Manso.
Orbit 2515, you are 13 miles northwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 10 right approach via Hokum transition.
Okay, RNAV Yankee runway 10 right. Okay, I'm gonna acknowledge that.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 10 right approach via Hokum transition. Cleared to Hokum orbit 2515.
10 right. Transition vectors via Yankee. RNAV. I want RNAV.
Orbit 2515, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
I'm gonna select another approach.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Orbit 2515.
I don't want RNAV.
Orbit 2515 would like ILS runway 10 right approach vectors to final.
Orbit 2515, you are 18 miles northwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway 10 right approach.
So we're on heading instead of nav. We're gonna go to heading. Acknowledge assigned approach.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway 10 right approach orbit 2515.
Cool. Okay. So we're gonna fly out a little bit here. Let's get ourselves out to flaps 2. We're gonna bring our speed down to 185.
Orbit 2515, please expedite your descent 4,000 feet.
Expediting our descent.
Portland approach orbit 2515 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Orbit 2515, turn right heading 015.
015.
Turn right heading 015 orbit 2515.
We definitely went the wrong way, but that's okay, because they don't know what they're talking about.
Orbit 2515, you are 25 miles northwest of Portland. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact Portland Tower on 118.7.
118.7 orbit 2515. This is the only thing that hasn't gotten better, Hagland, is the ATC is still
Tower
clueless.
on 118.7 orbit 2515. Portland Tower orbit 2515 25 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 10 right approach.
Orbit 2515 Portland Tower. Altimeter 29.82 wind 128 at 6. Cleared ILS runway 10 right approach.
Okay, so we're gonna run ourselves straight to Scapo. Don't know what it's doing.
Orbit 2515, please acknowledge.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble haggling.
Cleared ILS runway 10 right approach orbit 2515.
Yeah, I think we're back. I think it just stabilized my bit right now. Okay. There we go. We're back. Turn left. Oh, we need to turn right. There we go. I think we got this. Yeah, we're working it down there. Yeah. There we go. Much smoother. Ooh, the lag. Heading off. Only altitude hold. No. Stop it.
Orbit 2515, wind 105 at 5. Cleared to land runway 10 right.
Cleared to land runway 10 right, orbit 2515.
Autopilot.
Minimums.
This is gonna go really poorly, actually, I think, Haglin. There we go.
Orbit 2515, exit runway when able.
Whew. Exit runway when able. Hey, look at that, we did it.
Orbit 2515, contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er for orbit 2515.
121.9er, orbit 2515. Goodbye. Portland ground, orbit 2515, taxi to the gate.
Orbit 2515, taxi to gate Charlie 2 Tree Bravo via taxiway Echo Bravo Tango.
Echo Bravo Tango.
Taxiing to gate Charlie 2 Tree Bravo using taxiway Echo Bravo Tango, orbit 2515.
Woo! That was a landing, I'll tell you what, Haglin, we're good now. My bitrate has stabilized quite a bit. It's a little janky, the actual game right now, but I think mostly it's airport, and we are. Parking brake on. APU on. Gonna turn the autopilot off. Flight director off. We're gonna turn our gens, right gen off, left gen off. We're just on autopilot.
Generators
Cool.
off. Generators off.
Yes, I understand. Killing our main engines next. Main engines off. Off. We're gonna kill our main lights. And let the passengers go. We are engines going down. We're gonna go ahead and kill the APU. APU gen off. Ground power on, batteries off. We're going to go into our flight plan and we're going to delete our flight plan. There we go. Flight plan gone. Now we're just going to go ahead and turn off the ground power. We've flown 59 hours total in the plane. Ground power off. There we go. And that is another fairly successful flight. I can't believe we landed it, honestly. That was rough. Autopilot pathing is still a little off and the ATC is crazy. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. We had a little bit of an internet slugfest there, but I think everything's back to normal. Oh my gosh, what a day. Alright, let's jump back over to our streamline. Alright, well, Hagelin, thanks for dropping in. Sorry that my bitrate was terrible for you for a little bit there. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me on the weekend as well. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. With that, take it away, evil bot overlord.
You can run, Leaf Walker, but you cannot hide. I will find you, human. I am your overlord. Have a good day. For now.